Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news as Erik ten Hag makes one final demand of the Manchester United board with only 3 days left in the transfer window. The latest on Cristiano Ronaldo, the latest on what's happening with outgoings as Manchester United look like they refuse to sell Wan-Bissaka and pretend that he's actually part of their plans. We'll also be talking about a few other things as well as look, this is the responsibility of this community. Not interested in what people think or what people have issue with. Said this many times before, this platform will be used as a community to share news in relation to the Glazer out movement. And we do, that's why I'm a little bit late actually, because it's hard to get the information when certain accounts have blocked us from the outlet, but that's up to them. Let them do it. If they believe that blocking other United channels is fine, then that's up to them. No hate. But it takes me a bit of time when people message me saying, can you share this message? Because I have to message people and get them to send me screenshots about what's going on. Another big protest on Sunday. We'll give you the full details on how you can get involved in that worldwide as well. So lots to get involved with. One of the things I want to sort of hit off straight from the start here is obviously Erik ten Hag would like one more signing, so we'll get into that. But I just have to bring this to the attention straight away. You might follow me on Twitter, you might not. But ESPN about a couple of hours ago put a story out that when Ronaldo's desire to leave Manchester United became public, a source told ESPN that the news was greeted with joy by the majority of his teammates as Ronaldo had become a pain in the arse. Now, I love predicting the future when it comes to how Manchester United Football Club works, but sometimes it's quite frustrating because you can predict it so easy. Manchester United, I mean, let me just read this back to you. When Ronaldo said that he would like to leave Manchester United because of the lack of ambition, which is why he wants to leave, a source told ESPN that news was greeted with joy by the majority of his teammates as Ronaldo had become a pain in the arse. So let's interpret this properly. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave Manchester United because the club is run like a shit show, which is why we want the Glazers to leave as well. So Ronaldo, it became clear to certain teammates that Ronaldo wanted to leave because the club is run like a joke, and certain teammates were happy about this because he'd become a pain in the arse. Make that make sense. So Ronaldo wants to go because the club is run badly, and certain teammates were happy about this and celebrated it. What a trophy! I mean, what a trophy that really is. It completely encapsulates in a couple of sentences what the problem is with Manchester United. Because I'm going to expose something a bit now. I've hinted at it for a very long time, but I'll expose it for you now. These journalists, these UK journalists and their dressing room sources, I'll tell you for free, 90% of their sources are British. They don't have sources from foreign players. They just don't, because that's not how it works. Because foreign players are not established into the English scene. They've not grown up with it, that most of their agents are not English, and most of the English journalists have their sources as English players or British players because they know the agents and they know the scene. So these sources that are happy that Ronaldo's leaving, 2 + 2 is 4. Figure out who they are, because it's fucking easy to figure out who they are, because all these journalists that are close to Manchester United and their dressing room sources, we all know who they are, lads, because you ain't that bright. You keep talking about your sources. Most of his teammates, your sources ain't Bruno Fernandes, they ain't David De Gea, they ain't Fred, and they ain't most of the foreign players that we have at this club. We all know who your bloody sources are, and most of them have had a shit time at United for the last year, and most of them have won sod all at United. So take your sources, ram them right up your arse and shut up, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you typing your shit because you're scared of the Glazers. You're scared of what's coming. And there is a revolution coming. And people don't respect you because you're scared of the Glazers. And everyone knows who your sources are as well. I don't care if Ronaldo leaves. If Ronaldo leaves Manchester United, I really don't care. Because Cristiano Ronaldo, for me, look, my memory, I ain't a fucking goldfish. I'm not a goldfish. I ain't Goldbridge the goldfish. I haven't got a memory that goes back 7 months. I've got a memory that goes back decades. I know what this club's all about. I know what this football club should be. And that's why many Man United fans are still fighting for it. Because we know where we should be. We haven't got a goldfish memory. We don't think fighting for fucking 4th place is what we should be doing. We know what Manchester United should be. We are the PSG of England. We are the Bayern Munich of England. We are the Real Madrid of England that have fallen down to being the bloody Southampton of England for some reason. Cristiano Ronaldo won Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, Ballon d'Ors at this club. He's a legend of the club. He's earned respect. He doesn't deserve to have his name stabbed in the back by those bunch of no trophy losers. He doesn't. But for some reason, the media seems to think, oh yeah, I've got a source from the dressing rooms who's a big, massive no-hoper. I'll stab a club legend in the back to keep my source and his agent happy. Shame on you. Shame on you. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave this club because it's got no ambition and he's got very little left of his career. Cristiano Ronaldo should have been sold 2 months ago. Simple as that. But the club's run badly. I could not give a shit about a Man United player who is happy that Ronaldo's going because they think they're going to get their legs back under the table and be the big I am, the Billy Big Bollocks in the dressing room, winning sod all again. Maybe some of these players should look at why Ronaldo's not happy about the bloody facilities at Carrington, or why the club has fallen from being one of the biggest clubs in the world to being a joke since he was last here. Maybe people need to look at why Ronaldo wants to go, because Ronaldo would not be leaving this club if we were in the Champions League competing for titles. It's as simple as that. The simpletons out there cannot realise this, and many United fans who back Ronaldo do. The reason Ronaldo wants to leave is not for money, it is not for fame, it is for success. If we were in the Champions League and we were competing for titles, he would want to stay at this club. It's as simple as that. So all these bloody loser, bloody cheerleaders in the dressing room who are leaking to their mates in the media, oh, we were so happy when we heard Ronaldo wanted to leave because he's become a real pain in the arse with his insistence that we're not good enough. Go away, Ronaldo. We want to be back being social media stars, doing winning team photos and winning fuck all. That needs to change. That needs to change at Manchester United. So, sorry for the little rant at the start, but it pisses me right off that if Ronaldo wants to leave, we've suddenly got to hate a legend. I can't stand that. I cannot stand it. When I'm old and grey now, when you're old and grey in the future, you'll look back on these moments and you will remember the greats. And I look back at Roy Keane. I look at the class of 92. I look at Cantona. I look at Bruce and Pallister. I look at Dennis Irwin. I look at Ryan Giggs. I look at Paul Scholes. I look at Wayne Rooney. I look at Ronaldo. I look at Van Persie. And they're the memories that make me smile. They make me smile. Not the McTominays, not the fucking Harry Maguires, the people who've never won anything. I look back at the people who won things. And you can shove your Europa League and your Carabao Cup up your arse. That's not winning anything. I'm talking the Premier League, the Champions League. That's what Manchester United's all about. So don't try and make me turn against the legend of this football club because a bunch of losers in the dressing room are leaking to their mates. And also, it's about bloody time people realise that dressing room sources means 90% chance it's British. Because the foreign players ain't going to be mates with the Athletic, Manchester Evening News, BBC and whoever else is quoting dressing room sources. People need to start calling this out now because I'm tired of dressing room sources and people start thinking it's David De Gea or Victor Lindelof or Fred. It ain't. They're foreign players. They're not used to that sort of close relationship that's been built up over years with their agents and these outlets. It's the British players because they need protecting. And that's the cold, harsh fact. The vast majority of these dressing room sources are what we know they are. And it needs calling out. So next time we hear dressing room sources, let's be bloody honest about it. There's a 90% chance that we know who it bloody well is by their passport. Ronaldo equals winner. Most of the rest squad equals losers, says Dazzo. And to Joel Glazer, Avram and Richard Arnold and the players, change is coming. If you know, you know, says Ivan Whelan. Well, look, I'm going to hit this straight head on the head here because this is from Samuel Luckhurst. So let's have a look at what he's got to say. So Samuel Luckhurst is saying this, and I don't dispute this. He's probably quite right. He says that Napoli have held talks regarding Cristiano Ronaldo with Jorge Mendes. They're interested in a permanent deal, but are prepared to settle for a loan deal as they're pressed for time. Figures at Manchester United sense that Mendes would attempt to facilitate Ronaldo's exit late in the transfer window. Ten Hag is open to Ronaldo leaving and has been for weeks. However, Joel Glazer has resisted any potential sale. And this is the problem with Manchester United. Pure and simple there. Look at that and don't see the toxicity. Look at that and don't think I've got to hate Ronaldo or love Ronaldo or disagree with Ten Hag or whatever. What is the big word there? Glazer. 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 It's as simple as that. We'll come back to it. Work on it. Look at Malasia's post at the weekend about Ronaldo. I guarantee all our summer signings, one of their main draws was to come and play with Ronaldo, says Sean Turner. when Ronaldo was injured at the weekend in the last few minutes of the game against Southampton, I said it. Look at the players that are around Ronaldo. It was Varane. It was, I think, Casemiro, Bruno, and a couple of others. I can't remember who it was. Oh, he's hated. He's absolutely hated. Bullshit. There's certain players that have an issue with Ronaldo, and they're the dressing room sources, and we know probably who they are. To Joel Glazer, Avram and Richard Arnold, the players' change is coming. If you know, you know, says Evan. Ronaldo, we've done that one as well. And Owen says, we are in a severe drought where I live at the moment, and we are about to get slammed with rain. I'm excited to listen to you, Mark, while the much-needed rain we have it's been falling, says Owen. Lovely story about rain there from Owen. And the players aren't celebrating Ronaldo leaving. They are celebrating. They will no longer have a legend telling they are not good enough, says Stephen. Thank you, Mark. Spot on and tired is the right word. Glazers out, says Joseph. So this here, like I say, my problem, I actually have said this for a while. If Ronaldo goes, I'm happy for him. And we move on as a football club. I don't need to hate him. I don't need to be divisive. I don't need to live in a world of hate and love. If Ronaldo goes, all the best. Let's get on with our job. And I think that's what Ten Hag has done. I've looked at Ten Hag over the last 3 months, and consistently he said up until the middle of July, Ronaldo's not for sale. I can't wait to work with him. He's a world-class player. I love him. He's part of the plans. He kept saying that. And over the last few weeks, it has changed a bit. And maybe that fits in with what Luckhurst is saying. Maybe Erik Ten Hag has spoken to Ronaldo and he's realised that, look, Ronaldo really does want to go. There's no point in me keeping a player. A bit like Ajax with Anthony. There's no point in me keeping a player that wants to go and do something else. He can only give me a year anyway. I know for a fact that Ten Hag's initial reaction to Ronaldo was excitement. He's a fantastic player. He's going to score me 20 goals, and 20 goals is probably going to get me in the top 4. But I think Ten Hag's probably looked at the situation. He's spoken to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's been nothing but professional. And I think they've probably had a chat and gone, look, if you can find the move that suits me, you can go. The Glazers are the problem here. This is not even about Ronaldo and Ten Hag. Their relationship is good and professional and honest. Anthony, we're all celebrating Anthony. Anthony's gone on strike at Ajax. Ronaldo's never gone on strike. He's turned up for training, he's sat on the bench, he's smiled, he's done his job and trained. And respected Manchester United and Ten Hag, but said consistently, I want to go. I think Ten Hag's got to the point where he's gone, you know what, Cristiano, you can go. And the Glazers have fucked it up. The Glazers have gone, you're not going. So they've kept a player that wants to go. The manager is open to him going as well. It's pretty much amicable, and the Glazers, in their wisdom, have decided, no, that's not going to happen. I want Ronaldo to stay. Some of you would say Ronaldo should go. But none of us want to hate on Ronaldo. We just have our own opinion. I think Ten Hag's changed his opinion and gone, look, it's probably best if he moves on. The difficulty we have now in the last few days is that the Glazers have gone, no, he's not for sale. For what reason? You're now going to keep a player that's not happy. You're going to keep a player that Ten Hag has decided that, you know, he probably can move on. But we're not going to... Ten Hag doesn't want Ronaldo to go and not get a replacement, by the way. Under no circumstances will Ten Hag let Ronaldo go now because he needs a replacement. And you can't replace him in the last few days unless you pull off a miracle. So the word in the below is the Glazers. And yet again, it's just another example of how badly the club is run. The Glazers are probably terrified of selling Ronaldo as he will lambast them. Well, yeah, there is that. No World Cup for sure, Rashford or Sancho, says Toxic. Mark, the Glazers are trying to placate and appease the fans with large signings. Anthony and Casemiro, Glazers out, says Ethan. You say let's let Ronaldo go and we move on. That's the issue. We can't move on with these leaks. Maguire, Shaw and co, they need to go before Ronaldo, says Arjun. Thank you, Mark. Spot on, says Joseph. Yeah, look, we're not getting rid of Harry Maguire because nobody wants him. We're not going to get rid of Luke Shaw because nobody wants him. These players are going to have to work hard to win their place back in the team. So it's as simple as that, isn't it? But look, I think going back to what we were going to talk about at the start of the show, and actually I must just add this in, it's been a bit difficult to find this, but in relation to Glazers out, a couple of quite big statements actually. Gary Neville has tweeted today that he really thinks the Glazers will sell, which is great news because hopefully Gary is party to conversations. In fact, I know he is really, that could bring about big change at Manchester United. So that's positive news. The second thing is, in relation to the Glazers out movement, as I understand it, the organisers of the protests over the last few games, the 58 group, they're meeting at the Trinity on 3 o'clock on Sunday, and they are imploring fans to bring protest, banners, etc. about the Glazers out. Now, apparently, if I've written this down correctly, if your banner is less than 1 by 2 meters, you don't need a certificate for it or a fire certificate. So what they're saying is they want people to turn up to the game tomorrow on Sunday against Arsenal at Old Trafford, be vocal in their anti-Glazer chants, but also bring your banners in, because apparently, well, in fact, it is true. They cannot stop you going in with banners that just say Glazers out. They can stop you if it's offensive or, wishing hate or causing hate or anything like that, but they cannot stop you going in there and putting in a banner that's less than 1 by 2 meters that says Glazers out. And that's what they're employing fans to do. And they're also saying if you want to take a picture of yourself with your own banners, start getting them all over social media. And that's certainly something we can help with our community, because it's massive. If you want to do that on Sunday with pictures of yourself with Glazers out and stuff, this is something you can get involved with as well. And as I said this morning, this is a really good idea, and a lot of people have picked up on this. Instead of unfollowing Manchester United or players or whatever it is you want to unfollow in relation to Manchester United, how's about non-hateful, non-abusive replying to Manchester United socials, Manchester United players, whatever, with your issues? Just put it out there. Whoever it is, they put a tweet out about winning team and you reply and say, winning team, ? This club has got this debt. I want the Glazers out of this club. Whatever your statement is, start using that as your venting board, because there's a lot of frustration in the fan base at the moment and you've got a free platform to vent it. Social media. You can reply. Just reply. Don't unfollow. Reply. Put it on their socials, because they will pick up on it. They've all got graphs on socials. They monitor Man United players and they monitor their own socials as well. This is an opportunity to show that you're not a vigilante, that you're not a hooligan, that you're a fan who loves this club, who can communicate in a way that says, I love this club, I'm not abusive, but this is how I feel about how you're running the football club. And they will read it and they will pick up on it. So that is your opportunity. Small steps maybe, but big steps in the end. Apollo is corrupt. They dump companies with tons of debt and have a CEO who's involved in multiple scandals. Don't let them in, says A. And I want Ronaldo to leave, but genuinely for Ronaldo's own career. He's a legend and always will be, and will hit the Glazers hard on shirt sales, says Job. Problem is they don't have a place in the team anyway. Their time is up, says Donny. So look, let's have a look at a few things that we are talking about. Ronaldo on loan. I don't know about that, but what I do know is that Manchester United. Some people talking about Fabrizio Romano. I've got no idea what's going on there, but Erik ten Hag would like one more deal. He would like one more deal. Thanks, Chris, and thanks for all the love in the chat, by the way. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. I think sometimes you do just need to vent, and there's so many problems at Manchester United, and spending this money that they've spent, it's blood money. I love Anthony, can't wait to see him. I love Casemiro, fantastic player, but it's blood money. They're buying your support. The Glazers are trying to buy more time. That's all they're doing. And what I love is that when I look on social media, or I look in our comments and I look around, people ain't buying it. Protests are still happening. People are still fuming with the way the club's being run. And I like to see that, because we're not shallow. We can't be bought anymore. We know what we want. We want change. I look at that stadium that's being built in Real Madrid, and I think that's a club that wants to be a football club. And I look at our ownership, and it's just crumbs on what we could do. Mark, have you talked to any other channels about do something together? So I don't need to, Jonathan. I wish people had stopped talking to me about this, because, as I've said, it's irrelevant. Like, the United Stand is massive. It's the biggest YouTube channel. Sorry for that, but it is, and it's yours. Why do we need to speak to other YouTube channels? We don't. What we need to do is integrate with the other groups that traditionally don't want to, because that's how we get bigger. These other groups, these other protest groups, the Manchester United Supporters Trust, they have a mistrust of what we do. They're the bridges that need to be built. They don't need to be built with the same people who already do the same thing. Like, we have a massive community. We can hit that community very, very easily. But we need to bridge the gap with the traditional groups that don't like this sort of thing. That's where the step forwards happen. So yeah, I don't really see the value in what people are suggesting about that. Barbara, welcome to the Members Club. We just want the club we love back. And look, I just want this to work. I want you to get change, because if we tolerate this, then our children will be next. I'm on TalkSport Radio. It's national radio. The last couple of weeks, I've religiously mentioned Glazers out movement. That's hitting national radio. So there's loads going on. We just want the club we love back. They're destroying the club, wanted Super League, even after all our history, get them out. Well, we never should have. We all collectively have to take responsibility for the Super League. Brilliant reaction to it, but how we let them off, we've all got to not make that mistake again, because the Super League was a disgrace. Taking us out of the European Cup, taking Manchester United out of the European Club, disgusting. That's what they wanted to do. Sir Alex Ferguson could single-handedly push the Glazers out by publicly leaving the board, says Big Ash, but that's his decision. Like it's your decision if you buy a shirt with Anthony on it. Don't judge the individual. It's what you do that matters. And if enough of you do what you want to do, we will get them out. Don't start shouting, they need to do this, they need to do that. Don't go and buy an Anthony shirt. I'm not going to tell you to do that. That's your choice. If you think that's the right thing to do, that's up to you. Don't start shouting about what Sir Alex Ferguson should do. You can have an opinion on it, but you can't tell people what to do. Welcome to the Members Club, Tom. Apparently United have made an inquiry to buy Aubameyang. I really hope we don't get him. He will be a troublemaker and cause problems, says Jack. So look, in relation to the last few days of the transfer window, and I will say this to be honest, James Gibson, welcome to the Members Club. I am not doing a reaction for Dubravka. The amount of people who say, why is Fabrizio Romano's YouTube channel be banned? This is really concerning me. Is this a joke? Why would that happen? I don't even understand that. I love Fabrizio. That should not happen. But I don't know. I'm live, so I don't know what's going on. And I don't know why that would happen. And I hope it's not the truth. And I hope we're all being trolled. But look, when it comes to Dubravka, welcome to Manchester United. I'm not doing a video on it. This is like, I didn't do a video for Lee Grant or Tony Grant, whatever. It's a backup goalkeeper. Well done. Welcome to Manchester United. No disrespect, but it's not massively exciting. James Gibson, welcome to the Members Club. If we bought that trap in from Eintracht Frankfurt, I'd love it. I'd love that because it's someone who's going to compete with De Gea. Dubravka's coming in to fill a gap till next summer when we make a decision about what we're going to do with the goalkeeper next summer. That's what's happening there. Massive year for De Gea. He might not be here next year. So maybe we bring Dean Henderson back. Maybe we buy a brand new account. But what I want to say is this. In relation to Manchester United, Erik ten Hag would like another signing. But there is a condition to this. It's one final transfer demand from Ten Hag. Because if Ronaldo goes, he has to be given a striker. And, you know, what Samuel Lucker says there below, is there time for Cristiano Ronaldo to go? Well, there's always time. I can't give you the answer on this. I really don't know whether Ronaldo will go or not. I really don't know. But if he goes, Ten Hag has to be given another forward. You cannot go into the season with Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, Martial and Elanga. It's not enough. And Garnacho, it's not enough. Elanga and Garnacho are youth players and Martial's injury prone and we're playing with three forwards. So if Ronaldo goes, there has to be a replacement. If Ronaldo goes and the replacement is Memphis, that's a step down. I don't know what that's all about, but that's a step down. So I suppose if Ronaldo goes, the only positive I can see with Ronaldo going, and I don't really think there is a positive, and I know Ronaldo would like to go, and I know Ten Hag and him have this professional agreement that he probably can go if they can find the right deal for everybody. The problem is, I think this should have been done 6 weeks ago. I don't even mind. I love Ronaldo. Some of you do, some of you don't. I love Ronaldo, but I'm at this point now where if he goes, I'm not that bothered, as long as it's done in the way that we benefit. If Ronaldo goes and we get Memphis, that's not good enough. Ronaldo's our player of the year, he's our top scorer. If he's going to go, you need to bring in a player that's never going to be as good, but he's good. If we can do a deal with Napoli where we get Osimhen and Ronaldo goes, I'd probably go, we've all won. Ronaldo gets what he wants, you know, to play in the Champions League and finish his career in a high level. And we get a young striker who's going to come in and could be our striker for the next 5 years and could be real quality. But that's the sort of deal we should have worked on in June or July. And the same problem keeps happening at United. We've just left everything so late. Casemiro's a good signing, but why did we leave it so late? Why didn't we move away from De Jong in mid-July like many of you said? Anthony is a very good signing, but why has it cost us so much money when Ten Hag wanted him in mid-May? And if Ronaldo goes this week and we're panicking for a replacement. Why didn't we just do it back in July and work on something that gave us something viable to work with? So look, I don't know whether Ronaldo will go, but I think that Ten Hag, if he is open to it, it will be only if one condition is met, and that's he gets a proper replacement. And Antony's a winger, not a Ronaldo replacement. I'm hearing about Osimhen to go to United, then Ronaldo going out. That would get you your fast striker. And since the current team will not concede any goals, I think this could be good, says Ellie. The problem with Osimhen is that Napoli... Look, I know a lot about Italian football. I'm not a genius on Italian football, but I've watched it since like 1990, Channel 4 and, James Richardson and all that. I love Italian football. I've had a few barren years where I sort of stopped watching it, but I've always loved Italian football. And Napoli, I know a lot about Napoli. They're traditionally a very, very hard club to do transfers with, and they tend to get very good value for players. We wanted Koulibaly and they wouldn't let him go for 90 million, so we spent 80 on Harry Maguire. Big mistake. But I can't see... They're not going to loan us Osimhen and we give them Ronaldo. And if they did that, we would be signing a contract to say that we've got an obligation to pay €100 million for him next summer. So I don't... As much as I'd like it, I don't see how Osimhen and Ronaldo happens. And if Mendes can work a miracle, well done, everybody wins. But that's the only deal I would do in the last few days of the window, because Osimhen has the potential to be a really good player. And obviously Ronaldo wants to go. We could do that. We could let Ronaldo go. We could bring Osimhen in. And I think everybody wins. And we all just go, all the best, Ronaldo, you're a legend. And we build our future with Osimhen. But I don't see how you do that. I just do not see how you do it. And I certainly don't want to see Ronaldo go to Napoli on loan and we bring Aubameyang or Memphis in, because that's not really the sort of replacement that we need. Would Ronaldo go and we get Gakpo? Be a good deal. Well, Darren, Gakpo's been linked to Southampton now. I think the Gakpo thing's gone. Hi Mark, I've been watching years now. Love the content. I will be watching United versus Arsenal live while listening to you in a watch along. Here's to you for many years of great content. Says Faroe Islands. Thank you very much. Hi Mark, do you know if Mabry renewed his contract before going on loan? Says Deja. I haven't heard about that, but I have heard he's gone. We spoke about that this afternoon. Just sticking with strikers, because there is still an open door on potential other deals as well. But I think the most likely deal, if we're going to do one, and Ten Hag's last transfer demand, is if Ronaldo goes, we get somebody in to replace him. And that's the big if. We know Anthony's doing his medical tonight. We know he's going to get announced tomorrow. And as I announced earlier, very unlikely to be involved against Leicester. This has now been confirmed by Laurie Whitwell as well, because of the work permit. The earliest we'll see Anthony is probably that Arsenal game. Will Sancho play on the left now? We have Anthony, says Shane. Well, I certainly think Anthony's going to go straight into the team, isn't he? Glazers out, Radcliffe in, Green in, Goldbridge, Big Ash, spot on, never happened. Great show, Mark, says Bog Trotter. Thank you. Have you heard the rumour that Anthony fee will be taken out of next summer's budget? Only striker will get is Depay, says Sean. Mate, look, Sean, you make a great point and everybody needs to know it. The Glazers don't do anything for free. The Glazers haven't gone, let's get Casemiro and Anthony now. They will have used next year's budget, 100%. You should know what the Glazers are by now. If you're buying a Casemiro shirt and you're buying an Anthony shirt and you're going everything's fine, you're lying to yourself. The money we found, we were bidding for Arnautovic and Rabiot, and then we've found 160 million. They're using next year's budget. They're using next year's budget to buy you off. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Hi Mark, thanks as always for the great content. I think United and Ronaldo want the same thing, which is him to go. Suspect no animosity. Issue is we won't buy a replacement till he gets a club. There is no animosity between Manchester United, between Erik Ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo. It's very professional. They know what's going on, and if Ten Hag gets what he wants and Ronaldo gets what he wants, it's shake your hands, goodbye. But the Glazers have caused an issue with that, and therefore so has Arnold and Murta. I've seen a story that Ronaldo goes on loan, but we pay 85% of his wage. Yeah, if we do that, we're stupid, Dazzo. The longer the British contingent is out of the side and the more leaks to the press there will be, says Glenn. Yep. Hi, Mark. I just want to say the Glazers splashing the cash as soon as their ownership is under threat is laughable. We're spending too much on players, says Fusk. Just, I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about potential other deals, but sticking with strikers, you may well have seen that Kaladzic to Wolves is pretty much done. Kaladzic was a player that we were looking at. What I was told tonight is that United were never seriously looking at Kaladzic. And what's happened here is this. And look, I don't want to say I told you so because that's not really my thing. But how many times did I say over the summer, Manchester United are not in for Milinkovic-Savic, it's a load of bollocks? And how many of you kept saying, well, we are, I want Milinkovic-Savic, we are, we're in for Milinkovic-Savic, let's go and get Milinkovic-Savic, let's leave De Jong, let's get Milinkovic-Savic. And I kept saying to you, we're not in for Milinkovic-Savic, it's just the typical Italian reports, they know we need a midfielder, Milinkovic-Savic wants to get out of Lazio, and we're being used again. We've been used every year for about 6 years by Milinkovic-Savic in the Italian press. We've not been in for Milinkovic-Savic since Jose Mourinho. That's when we wanted him and we didn't get him. And every year we get linked to him and it's legacy links. We're not in for Milinkovic-Savic. We've not been in for Milinkovic-Savic and we're not in for him. But the reason I mention him is because we were never in for him, but people thought we were. It's just regurgitation of links from years ago. But Kaladzic is more recent and the same. We were never in for Kaladzic. I was told this tonight. We were never in for Kaladzic. The reason we've been linked to Kaladzic, and quite firmly at times, is because he's a recommendation from Rangnick. It's the same as Lema. Lema and Kaladzic were recommended by Rangnick at the end of his era at United. But United flatly refused to take any of his suggestions on board because they're bitter. So Kaladzic was never a target for Ten Hag, and neither was Lema. The reason we got linked to them is because they were players that Rangnick identified as potential United signings. We've not been in for Kaladzic, so we've not lost him to Wolves. He was never a player that Ten Hag or United wanted to go for, but he was a recommendation from Rangnick, and that's the same with Lema. 100% no signings in January, says Reece Smith. And I read the most stupidest thing, expecting Man United to pay 100 million for Osimhen plus let Ronaldo go and also pay majority of wages. Only a dimwit would come up with such a loss. I fear it's not Murta. There's no way we're going to spend another 100 million euros, Ashish. No way. Hi, Mark. Thanks as always. We've done that one, haven't we? So, yeah. Look. So we've spoken about potential striking options, and I think that the title of the show is one more and Ten Hag's transfer demand. If Ronaldo goes, Ten Hag has to have a replacement. Bottom line, if that's going to happen in the next 3 days, there has to be a replacement for Ronaldo. So take that to bed with you or whatever, or on your morning run or whatever. If Ronaldo goes, a replacement has to come in. That's set in stone from Ten Hag, and if that didn't happen, it would be absolutely disgusting. We cannot let Ronaldo go and not get a replacement in. And I want Ronaldo to stay, but to be honest with you, that's selfish. I don't know whether you've watched the video with Ben Foster today. Fantastic insight on what Ronaldo's like, because obviously Ben Foster was at United in the late noughties for a few years, trained with Ronaldo every day, and really interesting insight from Ben Foster about Ronaldo. In fact, it's pinned at the top of the live chat, and you might have missed it today. It's a brilliant interview. Do give it a watch. And we spoke about Ronaldo for a few minutes. But, yeah, I think that the sad thing is I want Ronaldo to stay, but it's pure selfish. He wants to go, and I think Ten Hag and him have agreed that he can go, but the Glazers are saying no, and now there's no time to sort out a replacement, which could hinder our season now. Hello, Mark. How can we be sure that the Glazers' replacement will be better, knowing that they themselves bought the club on huge debt? Love from Morocco, says Hamza. Well, yeah, it's a good point. Good point. Welcome to the Members Club, Joshua. Thanks for joining the Members Club, by the way, tonight. You click the join button and you become a member, and you get a badge next to your name, and you get access to the Members Club and the members videos. Thanks, Barbara, who's a member. So take away the whole Ronaldo story and the striker situation. Somebody said in the chat, is there any chance of any other deals happening in the next few days? And I would say they're probably slim now. De Jong wants to stay at Barcelona. I don't know how that works out for him, but Man United have wanted De Jong all summer. Chelsea have been linked to him as well. De Jong can't go to Chelsea now. If De Jong goes to Chelsea, that's an absolute embarrassment for Man United. It's embarrassing for us anyway, but I think the best thing for us, if we're not going to get him, at least if he stays at Barcelona, he was never leaving anyway. We can't not get De Jong and he go to another club. So let's see what happens with that. Mark, who would be your ideal replacement for Ronaldo? I mean, right here, right now, it would have to be Osimhen. I think it's the only one that's likely. Well, it's not even likely, but it's the only one that's barely available. But I don't think it'll happen. Hi, Mark. I know it's a silly question, but how would empty Old Trafford affect the Glazers, says Dylan. If Old Trafford was genuinely emptied, it would be huge. It would be front page news, not back page news. The idea of empty Old Trafford is fantastic. I never had a problem with the people who said empty Old Trafford. My problem was the fact that they thought they could do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. I wouldn't even utter the words, we could help do it, because we can't. You can't do that. There are so many reasons why you can't do it. It can be done, but it can't be done on social media. And it's really difficult to do it. But it would be very impactful. But it's so difficult to do it. And it's so arrogant to say do it, because it's so difficult to do. And you'd have to plan it properly to do it. So forgetting the Ronaldo, I think we're not going to buy another forward unless Ronaldo goes. So moving away from that, will we do any other deal? We've chased De Jong all summer. I think the chances of De Jong happening now are very slim. Sean, thank you for the super chat there. And Mark, we need a young striker regardless Ronaldo stays or goes. Well, that's the interesting thing from Drub. We do need a striker anyway. Ronaldo and Martial, if Ronaldo stays, is not enough because Martial's injury prone. So we do need another striker anyway. But I don't see us doing that. I really don't see us doing that now. So is there any potential for another deal? And yeah, we needed 2 midfielders as well, by the way. We did need 2 midfielders. I don't see that happening. So therefore, the only one position that I think Man United could do something with in the next few days is this. David Ornstein. One of the best journalists in the UK. United have received approaches from Crystal Palace and West Ham about the possibility of signing Aaron Wan-Bissaka. However, both advances were turned down as United do not intend to sell or loan the right back this window. And welcome to the world of Manchester United there. What did I say to you at lunchtime and what have I been saying to you for weeks? There's been an offer on the table for Wan-Bissaka for weeks. United won't take it because they're embarrassed that it's less than 50% of what they paid for him. We paid 50 million for Wan-Bissaka 3 years ago. The offer on the table for Wan-Bissaka is below 20 million. They won't take it because it's embarrassingly low. And that is a Glazer decision. It is not a decision of Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag did not buy Wan-Bissaka. Erik ten Hag is not a bank manager. He is a football man. He walked into the club and said, this is a right back that I don't want to work with. Not because I dislike him, but the profile is not the profile of what I want. He's not my player. I didn't buy him. Please move him on. And United can't move him on. So he's going to stay and Erik ten Hag is going to have to work with him. But the bottom line is there are offers on the table for Wan-Bissaka. There's certainly one offer on the table from a Premier League club, which is Crystal Palace, and Manchester United have refused to do it. Baffling, yes. Of course it's baffling. This is a player that Ten Hag would like to sell. But Manchester United, yet again, under the Glazers' ownership, have refused to do a deal because it's not enough money. But they're not going to get the money. They're not going to get that money. If the offer is £15 million from Crystal Palace, and I believe that Wan-Bissaka's worth 25, where's the offer coming in for 25? Because his wages are prohibitive. I don't know what Wan-Bissaka's wages are, but I would hazard a guess they're around 100 grand a week. We will not sell Wan-Bissaka for more than 15 million next summer or the summer after. But United will not sanction it because it's embarrassing. Well, maybe if you had people who were football people in the club, you just take the hit and try and never make a mistake like that again. So a right back is very, very unlikely. But I said this at the end of June. There's an offer on the table for Wan-Bissaka and it surprised me because who would want to buy him? But they do. But United won't do it. So the chances of us buying a right back now are probably very, very slim because United have decided we're not selling Wan-Bissaka and therefore Ten Hag, who wanted Dumfries, has now got to go into the season with Dalot and Wan-Bissaka, which he didn't want to do. Someone needs to pay 500 quid on 80k small green yellow flags to give out everyone coming into the next home game, says Lath. And I have a strong feeling Gakpo is a must-buy, says Alvaro. I don't. Glazers out, but where do you think United would finish after the panic buy Glazers made? Glazers out, says Drub. Just going back to the banners and stuff like that, more than happy to contribute to anything like that. Always am. Just don't know who's going to organise it. So if they were smart, they'd sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 15 million towards their dividends and not garner Glazer-nomics at its finest as vacation. Look, greater minds than me will be able to explain. Hein, welcome to the Members Club. Greater minds than me will be able to explain why Manchester United would sell James Garner, a youth player who's never had a chance, to Everton, but not sell Wan-Bissaka for 15 million, who's not got a future at the club. I know why they won't do it, because there's something about that £50 million buy 3 years ago. There's something about, I've said this before, there's something about the 80 million value of Harry Maguire, the £50 million about Wan-Bissaka. There's something in the way the Glazers work this football club that 50 million is an asset. Somewhere in the way they run this club, Wan-Bissaka's 50 million fee is on the books. And somewhere it benefits them not to sell him for 15 million. I don't know how it works, because I don't know the intricacies of how the Glazers run the club. But it's not just losing 35 million. Some people have told me this before, and I don't know how it works. But I think that £50 million Wan-Bissaka, I think United players are assets to the Glazers. And I think they're listed somewhere. And they're probably leveraged against the debt or something like that. And if someone's leveraged against the debt as a 50 million asset and you sell them for 15 million, you lose that 50 million asset. I don't know how it works, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. I could be talking complete bollocks, but why would you not sell Wan-Bissaka for 15 million but sell Garner for 15 million? What's your opinions on Ipswich? Don't really have any, to be honest. And Sky Sports Chef telling that Van der Beek's not getting married today. Not sure what De Jong and Depay are doing in England, says Frin Vassin. I don't think that I don't think that De Jong and Memphis being in London has got anything to do with transfers, because everybody is saying that it's not. Whether it's because of the wedding or not is somewhat irrelevant. I just don't think that they're in England to do that. I don't. I'd be very surprised. Be very, very surprised. I think that I don't know. Look, I feel that it's going to be Thursday night before we know it, and I therefore think that it's Monday night now. We've got 3 days. The transfer. We haven't got 3 months anymore. We've got 3 days left of this transfer window, and what can Man United do in 3 days? I don't think there's anything you can do. You know, as much as I still think there's a chance that Cristiano Ronaldo could leave, I don't think that I don't think there's actually not a lot that can happen. I really don't. I mean, it's funny. Phil at Malakians on Twitter, Phil Brown has just said he's been told there's no truth in the Ronaldo Osman thing. Look, George Mendes is an amazing agent, and I don't think anybody would sit here with confidence and say he can't pull something off in the next 3 days. But it's hard to... And look, there's always something, whether it happens at Man United or not, whether it's Arsenal do a deal or Liverpool do a deal, there will be deals in the last 3 days. But it's difficult to see. United are probably going to announce Anthony tomorrow. That takes up all of tomorrow. We're playing on the Thursday. We can't... I remember the transfer window where we went from... Was it... Oh, God, who was it? Josh King to Rondon to Agala, all in the last few hours of the window. We can't do that on Thursday because you've got to be talking to the manager about that. The manager's got a game against Leicester. He can't be getting phone calls saying, what do you think about Agalo? What do you think about Rondon? You know, that has to be sorted the day before. So really, if Anthony Day is tomorrow for all the pictures, I think Wednesday is the last day that United can try and do something. Because if they try and do it on Thursday, it's massively irresponsible. The manager's got a game. You can't be ringing the manager up going, oh, we've got you this player, what do you think? So really, I think if United have done... If nothing comes out on Wednesday, I think that's it. I really do. And the one to keep an eye on is obviously Ronaldo. The right-back situation, I think, I'm very surprised by what's on the screen, by the way, because we all know... Well, I say we all know. it was quite common knowledge that in June, and it was quite not common knowledge because the representatives and people close to these players were quite happy for it to be put out there, and many journalists wrote about it at the time. Wan-Bissaka was aware that he was up for sale. I think Brandon Williams was another one, and then Phil Jones. There was a few Eric Bailly. There was a few players that knew they were surplus to requirements, and the fact that they're now being kept just shows you that one, Ten Hag wanted them to be sold, and two, they were expecting to be sold, but three, they're suddenly now still here because we can't sell them. And Wan-Bissaka will end up getting game time. He will do, but I can't see a future. I really can't. I think it's just a failure in the summer transfer window, I'm afraid. Does anyone now feel like Van der Sar showed Arnold and Murta how it's done? Says Brian. Mate, it doesn't need Van der Sar to show him how it's done. Your grand should show him how it's done. It's about the valuation as we're a listed company on the New York Stock Exchange, says Danny. Fabrizio Romano, YouTube has been terminated. Just looked up, it's gone. Check yourself. If you don't believe it, what did he do? Mate, it's breaking news. SK, I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. Maybe he's shut it down because he's got an exclusive deal with Twitch or something. I don't know. But I find it odd that Fabrizio would be taken down. I mean, he's a great guy and he's a very, very, very good journalist. And obviously, he's a friend of the channel. He's been on many other channels as well. He's I have no knowledge of why that would be, and maybe there's a perfectly good explanation to it. I know he's done stuff with Twitch in the past, so maybe he's moving to a different platform. I don't know. Hi, Mark. If they know the asset is worth 20 million and they continue to put it on the balance sheet for 50, then they're committing fraud in public accounts. I think your point embarrassed more likely, says Carl Walsh. And I have a strong feeling that Gakpo will happen, says Alvaro. Well, I don't agree with that. I don't think that will happen. De Jong, Osman, Debunking, Ronaldo, Wan-Bissaka. So yeah, look, I think our summer transfer window may be over. I think that obviously Debunking comes in, Anthony comes in, and I'll still be selfish and say I really hope that Ronaldo's still a Man United player on Friday. I know that he might not want that, and Ten Hag might not want that now, but I still think we're better off with him, and but I know I'm very selfish saying that. But he's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He's one of the greatest players I've ever seen wear a Manchester United shirt, and I want to see him still in a Manchester United shirt. But that's probably the one that I think has got the most possibility. But look, if it's true that the Osman thing is complete bollocks, that's the only deal I'd be looking to do. I would not be letting Ronaldo go to bring Memphis or Aubameyang in. And all due respect to both those players, I don't massively mind Aubameyang or Memphis, but it's a big, big drop off. And if Ronaldo goes, you've got to bring the right player in. It's either a player that's going to grow at the club, or it's going to be a player that's going to be, good for us for a few years to come. And Osman makes sense, but if that's not on the cards, then really we're in a difficult situation. And we've left it too late as well. We shouldn't be doing this deal now. This should have happened a long time ago. I have a feeling we'll get Frenkie de Jong and Depay before deadline, and Ronaldo will leave, and that will be our window. How would you rate it then, says Akshay? Mate, I'll tell you how I rate the Manchester United transfer window. It's very simple. It's 2 words. It's Glazers out. That's how I rate this transfer window. I don't think that John Murta's done a good job. I don't think that Richard Arnold's done a good job. I think that the transfer window has been embarrassment. I've taken notes. I've kept the receipts. I'm sure many of you have. Michael Keane's brother, who's a transfer lawyer, was brought in publicly at the end of June to help United out. How's he helped us out? How has he helped us out? It's been shambolic. Wan-Bissaka's an example of this. We've had an offer on the table. Ten Hag wants to sell him. We've not sold him. We've kept him, and now Ten Hag's got to use him. I mean, ultimately, there are good parts about the window, but how we got there wasn't the right path to take. Anthony was a player that Ten Hag wanted in mid-May. We've delivered him right at the end of the window, overpriced. Casemiro was not a player that Ten Hag wanted, but he's world class, so we've got a CDM finally, but it wasn't a player we were looking at. Martinez was a backup for Timber, very happy about it, but we overpaid for it. And as for sales, it's been shambolic. So the transfer window's been a joke, and I think in a funny way, we've ended up getting some really good players, but it's not been done well. I look at Spurs and they took all their new signings, bar one, on pre-season tour. And they've got 10 points from 12. Arsenal, again, very well planned summer transfer window. Man City, you expect it. The only two clubs that have been really haphazard and are struggling a little bit are Chelsea and Man United. We've got no fluidity and we've got no stability. And both clubs look a bit shaky at the moment. So I think that the summer transfer window has been shambolic. And through desperation, we've actually clawed something out of it. But if Ronaldo was to leave and we were to replace Ronaldo with De Jong or Memphis Depay or both, why is it happening at the end of the window? Because it's not been organised properly. And that's my thoughts on this window, no matter what happens now, are just pure and simple. We need a change in ownership. We need to hit that reset button because it's just not working with these owners. I have a feeling we'll get... So do I think we'll get Frankie de Jong? I hope we do. I think the door's still open to it, but I think it's very unlikely. United are pushing to have Anthony for the Leicester game, according to multiple sources. It seems Glazers are scared of something happening that day, says Mario. I genuinely do not think Anthony will be involved against Leicester. Maybe on the bench, but he's not trained for a week. And Erik ten Hag has been very, very consistent. Casemiro was fitter than Anthony and didn't start against Southampton. So the minimum, I think, for Anthony would for him to be on the bench for that Leicester game. But he's not really trained. I think Anthony will be kept back for the Arsenal game. And I think he'll be on the bench for that game as well. Possibly Ajax got his channel banned after his interview with Anthony. Things started to change, says Ashish. I don't know about that. Thanks for everything, Mark. You are your own class of 92 legends, as Leroy. Glazers being embarrassed about selling for lower numbers is dumb. We embarrassed anyway. The Maguire buys mocked without us having to sell for low, says Frederick. There we go. Just a good point here. Just to wander on to something a little bit different. Some mentions Donny van de Beek. The situation with Donny van de Beek is very, very simple. He's still sat on the bench, but he's not angling for a move. A year ago, he wanted a loan to Everton and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said no. I know he went to Everton in the January, but he wanted to go in August. Solskjaer said no, I'm going to use you. He didn't use him and then ended up getting the loan. And he pushed for that loan. Even though Rangnick was here, he wanted to go. He is not pushing for a loan. He's not pushing for a move. Now, people can say, well, people don't want him. There'll always be people who want Donny van de Beek on loan. He's not pushing for a loan, and Erik ten Hag doesn't want him to go on loan. It's very similar to what's happening with Bissouma at Spurs. Spurs have bought Bissouma. He's a good player, but he can't get in the team ahead of Højbjerg and Bentancur. So does that mean that Bissouma's wasted his career because he's not playing for Brighton? No. From this week, Spurs are playing midweek, weekend, Champions League weekends, midweek, Champions League. They're playing 2 games a week for the next month. So are Man United. Thursday, Sunday, in fact, very, very soon. There are players on that bench who are going to start playing games. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Donny van de Beek. They're all going to start playing games because we're going to play a lot more games. This is Donny's season. He's not the only one. This is Donny's season. And if it doesn't work out, I think he'll be gone in next summer. Maybe even in January. But Van de Beek will get opportunities. And the great thing about Van de Beek is he'll get a fair crack of the whip for once. We've seen the favouritism at United. We've seen Eric Bailly not be picked over Lindelof and Maguire. We've seen other players not be picked over McTominay and Fred. We've seen the favouritism. We've now got a manager who's proven he'll make changes. He started the season with Maguire and Shaw, and now he's sticking with Varane and Malacia. He will make the changes. And the way that midfield could be set up now is that Casemiro can sit on his own with 2 number 8s, which means you could play Casemiro, Eriksen and Donny. You could play Casemiro, Donny and Bruno. So Donny van de Beek's got the greatest opportunity he's ever had to get in a United shirt if he's good enough. He will be given the opportunity. Whether he takes it or not is down to him. But the opportunity's there. He wants it, and Ten Hag wants to give it to him. He's not got it yet, but there's going to be a lot of games coming forward. So if he plays well, he can get that place. I wouldn't write Donny van de Beek off yet. He's not looking for a move, but yeah, it's a very big season. Man United are doing the All or Nothing series. I bet those leakers will be the quiet ones in the dressing room. Ronaldo is a legend, says Chris. I heard something about United and a bidding war with Netflix and Amazon for a behind-the-scenes documentary. I wouldn't be even interested in it, you know. It would be so manipulated. I think the Spurs one and the Arsenal one was very good. But knowing how United work, if they did an all behind the scenes, they'd need to call it something else, because it wouldn't be behind the scenes. It would be edited. You can't do this, you can't do that. If there was a proper fly on the wall documentary behind the scenes of United, it would break the internet. But they won't allow that. They won't allow it, because the cracks in that club behind closed doors are huge, absolutely huge. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for watching, really mean it. Good show. Smash a like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and please do check out the interview with Ben Foster. I've pinned it at the top of the chat and it's on the home channel. Really interesting 20 minutes with Ben today. I was on his channel, and then we just did a little chat about United afterwards. Played at United for a few years, only about 10 years ago, well, a little bit more than that. And yeah, very interesting career, and yeah, very interesting insight as well. So check it out. You'll really enjoy it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's see what happens in the next few days. And we've got a game on Thursday as well. Speak to you all in a bit. Stay safe, take care, and thanks for watching.